In today's world, the term high-value man is often thrown around without much understanding of its true meaning. It goes far beyond superficial traits like wealth, appearance, or social status. A high-value man is defined by his character, his values, and how he chooses to interact with the people around him, especially with women. When it comes to relationships, many men unknowingly make mistakes that undermine their own worth, often out of insecurity or the desire to please others. But a high-value man operates from a place of self-respect, emotional intelligence, and a deep understanding of what truly matters. He knows that the key to any successful relationship is not to chase approval or compromise his integrity, but to build a connection based on mutual respect and shared values. In this video, we'll explore the 11 things a high-value man should never do with a woman. These are not just rules for handling relationships with women, they're guiding principles that can elevate every aspect of your life, ensuring that you develop healthy, meaningful, and lasting connections. By avoiding these mistakes, you will not only protect your integrity, but also create an environment where respect, growth, and love can flourish. Chapter 1. Never be desperate for her attention. Desperation is one of the most unattractive qualities a man can display. A high-value man knows his worth and doesn't need to seek validation from others, especially from women. While it's natural to want to connect and build rapport, when a man appears desperate, it signals insecurity. A high-value man recognizes that attention should be earned, not begged for. This chapter will dive deep into the subtle ways desperation can show up in a relationship. From constantly texting to overcommitting time and energy, the high-value man maintains a sense of independence and self-respect. He understands that his time is valuable, and so is hers. He never falls into the trap of people-pleasing just to get attention or approval. The importance of having a life outside of the relationship is crucial. A man who has a strong sense of self-worth doesn't feel the need to chase anyone. He lets his actions speak louder than words and ensures that he remains emotionally self-sufficient. In doing so, he fosters an environment of respect and balance in the relationship. Chapter 2. Never compromise your principles. High-value men are men of principle. They have values they live by, and they refuse to bend them for anyone, even for someone they care about. Compromising one's core beliefs and values for the sake of someone else is a sure sign of weakness. High-value men understand that authenticity and self-respect are more important than pleasing someone in the short term. In this chapter, we'll explore how a high-value man stands firm in his beliefs. From how he handles disagreements to how he navigates challenging situations, his principles guide him. This chapter will focus on situations where compromise may seem tempting, but ultimately leads to losing self-respect and integrity. By adhering to his principles, a high-value man builds a relationship based on trust and mutual respect. A man who holds on to his values is more attractive in the long run. It shows strength of character, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to what he believes is right. These traits make him a leader in the relationship and someone who commands respect. Chapter 3. Never tolerate disrespect. Respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. A high-value man doesn't tolerate disrespect from anyone, regardless of the situation. In this chapter, we will discuss how a high-value man sets clear boundaries and enforces them with confidence. Whether it's a disrespectful comment, an inconsiderate action, or a disregard for his time and space, he knows how to address it without resorting to anger or conflict. Respect isn't just about being polite, it's about valuing each other's time, space, and individuality. A high-value man communicates assertively when something crosses the line. He does not allow behavior that undermines his worth, nor does he stay in a situation where disrespect is tolerated. This chapter will provide insight into how the high-value man maintains his dignity in the face of disrespect, and why it's crucial for a healthy, long-term relationship. Chapter 4. Never lose your independence. One of the most defining traits of a high-value man is his independence. He is not reliant on others to define his sense of self-worth. A high-value man understands the importance of having his own life, goals, and passions. He is secure in his individuality and does not rely on anyone, including a woman, for his happiness or sense of purpose. This chapter will explain why maintaining your independence in a relationship is essential. Whether it's having hobbies, maintaining friendships, or pursuing career goals, a high-value man doesn't lose himself in the relationship. Instead, he encourages growth for both parties, which leads to a stronger and more fulfilling connection. A man who is independent is not only more attractive, but he also builds a foundation for a balanced and healthy relationship where both partners contribute to the overall dynamic. Chapter 5. Never settle for less than what you deserve. A high-value man knows his worth and is unwilling to settle for less than what he deserves, especially in a relationship. This doesn't mean being unrealistic or demanding perfection, but it does mean knowing when to walk away from a situation that isn't aligned with his values or goals. A high-value man understands that his time, energy, and emotional investment are valuable, and he won't waste them on relationships that don't serve his growth. This chapter will focus on how the high-value man evaluates potential partners. He does not settle for someone who isn't a good fit or doesn't respect him. By holding out for the right person, he ensures that his relationships are fulfilling, nurturing, and aligned with his life goals. Chapter 6. Never lose sight of your own goals. One of the most crucial things a high-value man never does is lose sight of his own aspirations and ambitions. A man with vision and purpose is always focused on the long-term goals in his life. He doesn't let a relationship cloud his judgment or pull him away from what matters most to him. This chapter will explore how maintaining focus on your own ambitions allows you to build a successful, fulfilling life. The high-value man knows how to balance his career, relationships, and personal goals. He does not sacrifice his dreams for the comfort of a relationship. Instead, he incorporates them into his life in a way that brings growth and progress for both him and his partner. Chapter 7. Never be afraid to walk away. A high-value man has the courage to walk away from a situation that doesn't benefit him, regardless of how difficult it may be. Whether it's an unbalanced relationship, a toxic situation, or simply a lack of mutual respect, the high-value man knows when it's time to let go. This chapter will delve into the power of walking away, the importance of setting boundaries, and why sometimes leaving is the best thing you can do for both yourself and the other person involved. Chapter 8. Never be overly generous without receiving anything in return. Generosity is an admirable quality, but a high-value man knows when he's giving too much and not receiving enough. In a relationship, it's essential to find balance. This chapter will discuss the importance of reciprocity in relationships and how a high-value man ensures that his generosity is met with the same level of respect, care, and commitment. Chapter 9. Never allow a woman to dictate your happiness. A high-value man never places the responsibility for his happiness on someone else's shoulders. He knows that true happiness comes from within. This chapter will focus on how the high-value man maintains his emotional well-being, even in the most trying relationships. He doesn't rely on external validation for his sense of peace and fulfillment. Chapter 10. Never sacrifice your principles for the sake of pleasing a woman. High-value men don't compromise their values for approval. This chapter will explore the importance of staying true to oneself, even when under pressure. The high-value man knows that being true to his principles is non-negotiable, and he doesn't adjust his beliefs just to please a woman. Chapter 11. Never take her for granted. A high-value man values the women in his life and never takes them for granted. He understands that every relationship requires effort and attention. This chapter will emphasize how maintaining appreciation and respect for the people you care about fosters lasting, healthy relationships. Conclusion. Throughout this video, we've discussed the 11 things a high-value man should never do with a woman. These aren't just about avoiding mistakes. They're about aligning your actions with your principles, values, and self-respect. Every decision you make, every interaction you have, should reflect the high standards you've set for yourself, as well as the respect you have for others. A high-value man understands that relationships are built on trust, equality, and mutual admiration. By following these principles, you don't just become a better partner, you become a better version of yourself. Remember, the ultimate goal isn't perfection, but to build connections that are meaningful, fulfilling, and built on a foundation of respect. When you operate from a place of strength, independence, and self-respect, you naturally attract the type of relationships that will help you grow, both as an individual and within the dynamic of a partnership. Thank you for watching. If you've learned something valuable today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more helpful videos.